Hello, this is Geoff with In-Depth Studies. Today we're looking at 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verses 1 and 2. Now the whole chapter 7, is all about marriage, divorce, remarriage. That is its subject matter. But let's read 7 verses 1 and 2. Now for the matters you wrote about, it is good for a man not to have sexual relations with a woman. But since sexual immorality is occurring, each man should have sexual relations with his own wife, and each woman with her own husband. So what is Paul saying? Well, Paul's saying there is obviously the sexual drive causes real problems, and the biblical lawful outlet for the sexual drive that God has created within us is in a marriage situation. And there, the sexual drive can be satisfied without guilt, and it's a wonderful thing. But what also needs to be discussed with these two verses is that, and of course, I come from the point of view of New Covenant Theology, which says that the Mosaic Law as a unit no longer applies to believers today, that we are under a different version of God's law, Pentecost to the Second Coming, called the Law of Christ, which is similar but distinctly different in many ways from the Mosaic Law. Now, one of the criticisms of the New Covenant Theology view of law is that it says, well, it doesn't give enough detail. And one of the classic illustrations of this is that there is no example, there is no specific law against having sex with animals. So let's just talk about that one. My point is that in verses 1 and 2 of 1 Corinthians 7, Paul is saying is that anything but sexual relations between a husband and wife is immoral. Therefore, you do not need to talk about having sex with vegetables or animals or with homosexual or with people of the same sex, because that's all under the umbrella of immorality. The only lawful outlet for the sexual drive is within marriage, between a husband and wife, and then the sexual desires are satisfied without guilt. So hopefully this is helpful for you. If you want to find out some more about Geoff's thoughts, you can go onto youtube.com. They're all listed there under Geoff's thoughts, and you can subscribe to them. So hopefully this has been helpful. Thank you. Bye-bye.